Are you tired of missing monster moves like Nvidia's reversals or Tesla's rebounds? Or what about those Bitcoin wild breakouts? Let's learn how to get you in before the crowd. Let's put together your plan right now for this week's top stocks and crypto picks. Let's get to the charts. Nvidia, and arguably the heartbeat of AI right now. But this isn't just another hype cycle, I think, for Nvidia. From this high here down to the low over here was about 43%, you can see there. But the structure of what's been going on recently is very promising. We reached up here, nice rally attempt, big green candles, then did a pullback. What's one of the things you want to notice about that particular pullback on this daily chart? That's a higher low, folks. And now we're breaking back up, and we need to see prices break through the 50-day moving average here and then on above this area about the 215 level. So those are some very critical areas that we want to be watching Nvidia to see if it does break out from those areas. So we got a higher low. Let's see if we can sit in a higher high. However, the one thing we got to be watching for is the 200-day moving average. Price action on Nvidia is still below the 200-day moving average. Everything else looks to be go to the upside. One of the other things I want to call your attention to on this particular chart is that Nvidia is putting in a really nice inverted head and shoulders. It's already right at the neckline. So we break out from there, then we have an opportunity to move up about the same distance from the tip of the head up to the neckline. And that would project and put us up here probably close to its all-time highs. Yeah, I threw on a straight Fibonacci retracement from the high here to the low here, and then projected up. We break out of that level there at the 122 area, then watch it, because a 100% move from that area there takes us up here past the all-time highs. And remember, one, that despite a $55.5 billion hit from Trump's China chip ban, Nvidia is showing real resilience. Traders on X and Reddit are buzzing with buy the dip, as Nvidia underperforms the rest of tech. But it's shaping up very nicely. And remember, Blackwell chip launches, and this chip has all the AI bulls lined up and are ready to buy. So here's what you need to ask yourself. Are you buying this dip ahead of the crowd, or are you waiting for 115 to be broken here before you pile in? Comment below what your move is. And here's a quick trading tip. If you're not sure about what to do, test your plan on paper first. Do a paper trade. The key is having a trigger, not just FOMO. And for me particularly, my trigger is a pullback into the 8-day moving average, which will be about 108.50 come next week, or a break above the 50 and a retest above, back down to the 50. Those are my triggers. If you're new here, I'm Dennis Wilborn, founder of AutoPilot Trading, author of the book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. I help swing traders like you master the art of timing so you stop missing out and start stacking real wins. Stick with me. I'll show you how to trade sharp on a proven plan, no matter what the headlines say. Average. Okay, let's dig into Tesla. As you can see, after earnings, Elon Musk announced that he is just about done with Doge, and he'll be going back into more direct management of Tesla. It's one of the most polarizing and volatile stocks on the market. Whether you love or hate Elon Musk, we cannot ignore the price action. So Tesla just bounced off this level here at the 216 level. That held very nicely. Now, in order for it to continue on its way, we need to break out above this 291, 292 area. That's a strong level of resistance. And so what else happens there? The 200-day moving average is right there at that level. So that's strong there. Then if it breaks through that, what's next? We've got this downtrend line, breaks through that, we could be on our ways. One thing was very interesting is from the time we had this big buy candlestick here, we came back down and tested that. So we almost had like a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3. And then we bounced on up. We break out of here with momentum. Where might prices go? The next place is prices may start to slow down. And I just take is up here at approximately somewhere between 325 and I'd say up to about 330 in that area there. Then another high there, 367. So that's a solid somewhere between 15 to say 23%. Just grab a hold of that and run up there. Yeah, that would be about 26% if we hit that high above 367. But what about all the way back up here? From a breakout, that'd be up 67%, guys. How long would it take? Last time we were there, it took approximately 43 days and or 30 trade days. One last thing I will do, though, is I will tie on the Fibonacci. I'm going to grab the Fibonacci's from right this level here, or I could grab it from this level here also. But I'm going to grab it from right here. So I'm going to grab that high down to that low there. And as you can see, we start moving on up. We hit, that would be 100% move back up to 366. And then if that breaks out, look how close the 200 is to the all-time high. And that gives us a projection up for a new all-time high of 517.66. I want to check one more thing. Move that drawing. Let's see what it looks like by the Fibonacci down here. Okay, there we go. That breaks out. Again, the 200% extension of that, or symmetric move with that range there, would put us up 200% at about 369. Pretty close on the ballparks on that. So what are the headlines that are moving Tesla? Of course, earnings were missed, but Elon says he's coming back, so that helped a little bit. And then Tesla still holds nearly $1 billion in Bitcoin. I didn't realize that. So it's not just about cars, it's a stealth crypto play. Plus, Elon also teased that there's an affordable EV coming, maybe Q3, that sent bulls into overdrive. So here's where you have to be decisive. Are you jumping in on the momentum, or are you waiting for that clean breakout above 91 before you pull the trigger? Type Tesla bull or wait in the comments to tell us what you're doing. Now, before we move on, did you know, like I said, I was surprised that Tesla had so much Bitcoin too. And so it makes me ask the question, with nearly $1 billion in Bitcoin on their balance sheet, is like Elon's hedging his cars with crypto? Pretty wild, right? So as we said, hey, let's find out what's happening with Bitcoin itself. All right, let's get on to the one asset nobody can ignore, Bitcoin. If you recall, back in January, I basically said that we could target $75,000 for a downside move on Bitcoin, and sure enough, it got down to 75,000 plus some change. One of the things that's very interesting is once it hit that low, it basically is now starting to build its way back up. All the moving averages on Bitcoin are all stacked in the proper direction now. What that means is the short-term moving averages are above the longer-term moving averages, and they're all going that way. That's what that means, basically. Let's cut it to the chase. So where to from here? It would not surprise me to see like a zigzag pattern going down and up and down and up with the, but we have to get above this $96,000 level. And then that opens the door up to reaching on up to its past high of $108,000. Now, there's a couple of places along the way that it could stumble. Let's take a look at those. And one of those places is right there at 99. Let's just round it up to $100,000 is where all eyes are going to be watching that to see if we're going to break out from there. We break out from there, then that opens the door very rapidly to reach up here to this high here, which is up a little bit over 100, what was it? So $109,000 and some change was the all-time high on Bitcoin. Now, as we talk about Bitcoin, so move past 100,000, move past the 109, where to from there? Some of the major catalysts that have happened this past week in Bitcoin is one, we had 936 million flowed into Bitcoin's ETF this week alone. I like trading, I'm not going to go there. I'll do a video in the near future about trading the 2-time leverage ETF of Bitcoin, which is BITX. If you want to see that, just let me know. ARK has invested long-term target with a jaw-dropping $2.4 million. Target, $2.4 million by 2030. Wow. I'm going to tell my wife we're going to have to start investing more in Bitcoin, eh? And then Standard Chartered just put out a call saying that their target by the end of 2025 is $200,000 on Bitcoin. Now, I don't know about that. Let's take a look and we'll find out if that's realistic here shortly. Hey, let's jump over and just grab the Fibonacci's. Love to use the Fibonacci's. And I'm just going to do the simple fibs on this. So I'm going to go to the high here and go down to the lows down here. Now, whilst we're sitting there going, he said 200,000 by the end of the year. Let's go to a weekly chart and just figure out where would 200,000 be? 200,000 is way the heck up here. Now, from where we currently are to that level is a long way, baby. So if we break out of that level at 109,000, then in actuality, a 2 times move would put us up to 144,000. I think that's much more realistic by an end of the year time frame. We should be doing the trend-based fib extension, not the retracement, but that. So let's go ahead and we'll get rid of this for the second. Remove. Go here. There we go. So now again, this was measuring from here. That was down about 49,000. Back up to this high here. Then back down to this low right there. And I'll just scoot that across there. Now what does that show us? That shows us that if we move 100%, that would take us up to about there, 134. Now, if we go a 200 times, a 2x from this low right here, where it would be 2 times this level, it would take us up to 196. Is that reasonable? We'll see. The other thing I want to be aware of is how long did it take? And I can just grab my calendar here, extend that up. And that took about 19 weeks. So 19 weeks to hit that upside. Let's find out where 19 weeks is from here. And I'm just going to go here to, okay, 19 weeks would be right there, which would be around August 18th of this year. So that is before the end of the year. And it does have a lot of room left. So if this pumps through the end of the year, who knows? 200K, we'll wait and see. It's not going to go there overnight. Okay, so here's the question. Are you riding this wave to 100K and beyond? Or are you still sitting on the sidelines? Type BTC to 100 if you're on board and just type nope if you're going to wait this one out. Remember, you don't need to chase, build your plan, set your levels, and then stick to your process. That's how the pros win. Now we know about Tesla, Nvidia, and Bitcoin. They're all in play, but headlines alone are not going to move these entities, and they won't get you into the trades. You need a plan, a system, and discipline to follow it. If you want the 4 simple triggers I use to spot and time these setups, hey, grab my book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. I'll put a link down in the description. Don't wait. These windows don't stay open long, and neither does the opportunity. At the same time, though, like my mentor used to tell me, don't chase, because the best trade of the year comes around about every 2 weeks. Hey, would you like me to break down some stocks and crypto for you? If you do, drop a pic in the comments, smash the like button, subscribe for more chart setups you won't find anywhere else. I'm Dennis Wilborn. Remember, be patient, be prepared.